What is going on, guys? I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Let's jump straight into it. What's going on right now in our hobby, in our community? Last video I talked about the CT scanning, okay? I still think that that's going to be a big issue moving forward. I don't think it's going to be a nothing burger, and I think people that are heavily invested into this community, I mean, wealthier players just in general, are going to figure out a way to do this more streamlined and to profit off of it. At the end of the day, this world does revolve around money. A lot of it does. A lot of the collectible world revolves around money. This is just the stark reality. And a lot of people are going to do shady things to get to that money, including scanning packs, items, mystery boxes. Rattle just put up a video talking about people scanning the mystery boxes, so I'm interested to check into that, see what that's all about. But yeah, so I think that's going to continue to be a problem. But today we're going to be talking about what's going on in the modern landscape, what's going on with Scarlet and Violet, Sword and Shield. And right now prices are dropping. Is it a big cause for concern? I don't think so. Not really. I think we're getting a really healthy retrace. We had a lot of prices soar in the last couple of months, and we're getting a healthy retrace right now. Do I think it's going to be a crash? No, I don't. I'm not going to be super bearish and pessimistic like that, because I don't think that's really going to be the case. Last year at this time, we saw a lot of prices retrace too. I think this is a seasonal thing, to be honest with you guys. We're getting ready. It might not feel like it, but we are kind of mentally getting ready for the year to start again, going back to school. I do think wallets are getting a little tighter in this economy right now. I do think maybe what's going on with elections coming up could be affecting that as well and causing a little bit of volatility, as it has with the stock market as well. I think the card market, I think we can say at this point that the trading card market has become, in a way, an important asset to a lot of people, and you could compare it to the stock market in some ways. There are definitely some parallels, and there might be some serious volatility ahead with elections coming up. Now, hey, just my thoughts. Priorities might not be set on investing right now in Pokemon cards. That's all I'm thinking right now. Our priorities have shifted, right? We're looking at houses right now, so big priorities are not Pokemon cards, even though I've got some stuff coming up, guys. I did relapse a little bit, and I splurged on something I probably shouldn't have, but I'm really excited to announce that to you guys in the coming days or weeks, however long it takes to finally get here. But yeah, do have something big coming, but we'll talk about that at another time. I also have something else that you guys might not notice in the background, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. I'm excited about that as well. But modern prices of alt arts have fallen a little bit, and modern sealed booster boxes is really what we're talking about here. Modern sealed booster box prices have dropped a good bit. Evolving Skies now hitting that $600 mark, when I think a lot of us, myself included, thought that it was going to be in $1,000 set in no time. And I have some friends that sold around the $600, $700 mark when it had first hit that price, when it was pretty much a fresh new price target. And I think that was a really smart move on their part, because if you look at the market now, those boxes have gone back down to $600. So if you were to sell into the hype of $700 or $800, you were killing it on Evolving Skies. And really getting max value. I'm sure there's a lot of people that sold at $1,000 a box when it was at peak hype too. But again, $600 is no walk in the park, guys. I bought my boxes for $150. I am very proud. I like to tout that, even though at the time there were even people that made fun of me for buying Evolving Skies at $150. They were like, dude, you way overspent on Evolving Skies, and it's grown a lot since then. It's definitely been the poster child for Pokemon investing, I think, in terms of the gains it's made. We have some other great sets as well. But for the most part, all of these sets are coming down a little bit. Fusion Strike, Chilling Reign, Astral, Lost Origin. They're coming down, and I think this is mainly, maybe even some manipulation other than just seasonal seasonal stuff, seasonal shifts and volatility, prices coming down a little bit. Because if you look on eBay, I mean, if you really look on eBay and you look at the sold listings and you just type in keywords, pretty much modern sealed sword and shield booster box, modern or sword and shield alt arts, PSA 10. What I'm seeing is pretty stable prices on modern sealed product. It might be dropping a little bit, but it's not crashing. It's not going anywhere. If you invested heavily into this, you're still it's still going to pan out for you. I think those of us, well, for Sword and Shield, I think for Scarlet and Violet, it is a different story. I think a lot of us jumped the gun on Scarlet and Violet. I invested actually pretty heavily recently in a Twilight Masquerade. I am going to talk about that and probably make a separate video for it. I'd actually like to do a video showing all of the cases, but I am ashamed of that because it is jumping the gun considering how modern, how ultra modern Scarlet and Violet is. The fact that we are all investing in it so heavily is kind of scary, and I think it is going to end up backfiring. And it's okay because I have a great full-time job running the bar and I don't have to rely on this market or YouTube. So we'll see what happens, but I definitely don't want to be pumping stuff up and it goes in the wrong direction. So I always like to say, I have invested heavily in this, but this could pan out really horribly, okay? This could go horribly wrong. So let me lead by example, whether it goes great or whether it goes poorly, and then you guys can learn from that. So far, I'm not really excited about what modern sealed boxes are doing right now, but they seem pretty stable. I don't think it's a time where people are going to get insanely good deals. But, because if you think about it, if you're buying an Evolving Skies box for $600 is still no walk in the park. It's nothing to sneeze at. It's a lot of money still for a booster box where you probably aren't going to pull anything out of it anyways. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just being frank here. The pull rates are horrific with Sword and Shield, and apparently they're even tougher with Scarlet and Violet, which I just don't agree with that. It feels like Scarlet and Violet was very good to me, but maybe that is just all probability and luck. But yeah, Sword and Shield doesn't seem like it's really taking a serious nosedive. I think a lot of people are going to be able to get in at a nicer price right now. I am excited. Collecticon is coming to Charlotte in 2 weeks. And that could affect it too. All these conventions, people seeing what the prices are actually going for, people getting more involved in the hobby and going to these conventions, and chopping it up with the vendors and haggling and making deals. They're going to see what these items are really valued at, face value in front of the vendors beyond just what they're selling on TCG Player and on the secondary market on eBay. And I think it's going to be a reality check for a lot of people because I don't believe that vendors are going to want to pay market prices for a lot of these boxes. To them, they're still probably offering like 70-80% market value on a lot of these boxes. So people need to be careful in terms of trying to load the boat on a lot of these modern sets. But what I will say, what I did notice is raw card values for alt arts have gone down quite a bit, which is really exciting. You guys know that I still really want the Chilling Reign Blaziken VMAX and a PSA 10. And so prices retracing really do help me out. Blaziken VMAX PSA 10 was a $500 card not too long ago, a couple weeks ago. It's retraced more to the upper 300s, low 400s area. I think I just saw a sale at like 420, which is quite a big little retrace from $500 or even the high 400s. So it's getting better. It's almost where I want it to be, and I'm this close to cracking. I do think at Charlotte Collecticon, I will probably find someone with a Blaziken VMAX that's willing to do the price that I want, which is really around the mid 300 area. Okay, around 340, 350 is I think where I'm really comfortable buying that Blaziken VMAX PSA 10 because I have my binder copy, and I really don't need a PSA 10 copy, but I think the most popular modern alt arts for me are the ones that I'm going to be most connected to and sentimental about, and the ones that I love the most. Umbreon is really a hype card to me, the Umbreon VMAX. I don't even get the craze around that card, but I do like that I own one. I actually think the Rayquaza VMAX in Evolving Skies is kind of way cooler, but I also am a Rayquaza fanboy, as you guys know. And again, I'm going to talk about what's behind me and why that matters in terms of Rayquaza. And then Blaziken VMAX is another big one on the list. And then next up is the Sun and Moon Latios GX and the Gengar Mimikyu. I have the Gengar Mimikyu in a 9. I think I would like to look for that in a 10 at Collecticon. And then the Latios, I just sold mine because it was in a 9. And honestly, we needed the money, but also I want to upgrade that to a 10. So maybe I'll find a deal for a 10 at Collecticon here in Charlotte. But yeah, there's only a couple alt arts that I'm like really set on getting. The Giratina, I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Giratina alt art from Lost Origin, that and a PSA 10 would actually be a modern grail goal. I really, really like that card. It's grown on me immensely. The Tyranitar from Battle Styles, I made a very large play in Battle Styles. We're going to talk about that too. You guys know, about 2 months ago, I bought heavily into Battle Styles, around $600 a case. I bought a ton of Battle Styles. There was just a case that sold at $700. So I see prices being pretty stable, right? It's not rocketing off or mooning, which is exactly what I expected. I don't think Pokemon investing is a place where you're really going to make a lot of money. I think it's a stable place to park your money, and I think it's fun to invest in Pokemon. But there are plenty of risks. Your stuff could get damaged in the mail. It could get rained on. If your case could get opened up by a postal worker. You know, there's so many horror stories that I've heard. I think it's easier said than done investing heavily in sealed product and hoping that everything goes right. And then storage is a major issue. You have to have shelving or bins. I have a lot of bins in my garage that I've stacked up with cases. And all this taken into account, now that we're moving, I'm actually seeing, you know, the strategy of investing in sealed product, it's kind of a burden now because now we have all this product that I'm going to have to move. The market isn't as hot as it was. People aren't jumping on the bandwagon to buy sealed product. I would know the boxes that I have put up aren't like crazy prices, and I haven't really been getting a whole lot of offers. And I think that tells you a lot about the market. From a seller standpoint, from the experiences and the perspective that I'm having, I'm not getting a lot of demand for sealed boxes. No one's even asking about the sealed boxes. You know why? Because there's so much of it out there. And I think this is going to backfire on Scarlet and Violet at some point. It is a concern of mine. We'll see what happens. Again, I'm just ranting here, guys. But I bought a lot of Scarlet Violet base, and it just won't move. When is it going to move? It moved a little bit, and then it just stopped. So I'm sitting on that. I bought another set that I bought heavily into. I did buy some more Paldea. I did buy some more Paradox Rift. But I bought heavily into Temporal Forces because of the Gengar. And we're seeing a big retrace on Temporal Forces in terms of all those singles. So it's happening. The market is just telling me what I already knew about these sets. And now we're seeing Twilight Masquerade shoot up to the moon, okay? $700 a case. The set just came out. And guys, I did buy just as much Twilight Masquerade as I bought Temporal Forces. I loaded up on it because I saw it as a potential to grow as an investment. But in the back of my head, I don't want to miss out. And I am definitely contributing into some of that FOMO. But it's also because I want to trial by fire. You know, if this thing goes horribly and there's a huge reprint and it goes back down to 600 a case, it'll be a great learning lesson, okay, for all of us, not just me, but for all of us, that you can't jump the gun on these sets. Now, one thing I am excited about is buying Twilight Masquerade now means that you're probably getting the first wave of product, right? You're getting the best pull rates. You know, this might be a myth to some, but I genuinely believe that the first waves of product is where you get the absolute best product. And so, that being said, there's a lot of high value cards in Twilight Masquerade. We might even open up a box of Twilight Masquerade on one of the live streams coming up this Wednesday. That would be fun to open. I'm also considering opening up Battle Styles. And then, of course, y'all have been wanting me to open Pokemon 151. I haven't completed the English set. I'm still 2 cards away from completing the English set by opening every single pack to get those cards. I really wanted to order some other product to do an opening, but I might just break a display because that just seems like it's going to be the easiest thing for me to do. But yeah, prices seem pretty stable right now. PSA 10 prices are holding up pretty well for the most part. There are some dips here and there, but for the most part, I don't see any cause for concern or ultra bearishness, okay? Playing devil's advocate here. Even though I don't like pumping the market, I also don't see there being a crazy retrace right now. When I see it, I'll call it how I see it, and I'll say, okay, guys, prices are in free fall right now. They are dumping, but I don't really see that. It might be a different story on TCG Player, I don't know, but I'm looking at eBay. That's the market that I know. That's the secondary market that I'm used to in the platform that I'm on most of the time and searching most of the time. And the prices don't really seem like they've changed that much. So for those of you that are worried about your sealed investments, I wouldn't be too worried about that. I would honestly be more worried about the current news, the recent news about CT scanners being used, and kind of, new information that tells us that people are going to be able to search products for the cards they want soon, very soon. This is already happening, but when will it be scaled and when will it be done at a larger rate is the question. Okay, behind me, guys, I did splurge recently. I finally did it, guys. You probably can't see it because I have it in cinematic mode and it blurs out the background, but here we have a EX Emerald booster box, and it is mint condition. I've added this to my display. Some people might say, I don't get it. It's an empty box. But for those of you that have been on the channel for long enough, this has been one of my little passion projects ever since coming back into the hobby. I really wanted to build this awesome display room, this awesome game room. And even though we're probably going to move and this game room will be no longer, unless we move to a new house and I still come to this house to record videos, which I'm not opposed to. I don't really want to change up the studio setup and go through all of that, but at the same time, I'm open to positive changes in the future. But I think it's kind of funny that before we leave this room, if we do leave this room, because we will be moving to another home at some point when we find the right house for us and we want to upgrade and rent this one out. Again, we will be renting this one out, not selling it. So that will allow me, if I wanted to keep this studio while I'm renting out to somebody, that I can trust, and basically still come here to do videos. So we'll see what happens with that. But anyways, it would be kind of tragic, honestly, to build up the display and finish the rest of the boxes only to tear it all down and put it up somewhere else. But anyways, we are celebrating. I finally got an EX Emerald box. I love this box. I love the artwork on it. I love that picture of Rayquaza. Why didn't EX Emerald get some gold stars? That would have been really, really epic. Honestly, you've got Kyogre, Deoxys, Rayquaza, Groudon. You have literally all the bests. This is why I'm so biased in terms of Gen 3. I just think Gen 3 was the best. I just think Gen 3 was the best for Pokemon. No cap. It's just how I feel. Okay, not everyone is going to feel that way, but I love this box. This box has haunted me. I have been trying to find one of these boxes for a reasonable price for years, guys, and I have never found a reasonable one. The only one I saw for the longest time was I can't even remember what the seller's name was, but they wanted 150 and it had a tear in it, and they would not budge at all. And this is still, their listing is still up, I believe, for like 150, 160, 170 or something like that, and it still hasn't sold. I'm like, why are you holding on to something? If it's not selling, just sell it, okay? Even take a small loss, but there's no way they would have taken a small loss on 150, 160 for an empty booster box like this, guys. Anyways, I'm gonna let you guys in on the deal that I got for this. I wanted to do this in a mail day video, but I didn't feel like it was important enough, and I needed to get it listed. I needed to get the others that I bought listed on eBay so I could offset my cost a little bit. But I ended up, there was a seller with these, and I saw that they had a quantity of them. They had 4 of them, and I didn't want to risk buying one and getting the crappiest condition one or whatever. I was worried that I was going to get the one that had tears or whatnot, and I didn't know how many were there, and so I asked, can I see all of the boxes? How much for one and how much if I buy all 4 of them? And so they were like, for one, I'll do you 130 or something along those lines. And then there was shipping as well. And then they were like, for 4, I'll do you, I think it was like 440 or something, 110 a box. And then I was like, all right, well, if you're willing to do, I think it was like 380 or 400 for all 4 boxes, I'll buy all 4. And then I can sell the other ones to offset my cost. Just trying to figure out how to make this work. and they accepted. So I ended up picking up all 4 of these boxes. As you guys can see, I have 1, 2, 3. Wait, where's the other one? Oh, and then the other one is over here, actually sitting on my theme deck display box. We have another box over here. So this is a pretty unique thing. I have now 4 EX Emerald boxes, which, guys, everybody has their shtick, okay? This is something that I think is cool. And the fact that I have this many, this is only going to happen so many times in my collecting journey. And I think it's pretty awesome. So yeah, here we have 4 EX Emerald boxes. These are up on eBay right now. The first one is up for sale on eBay right now. So that will be exciting. But and I have it priced below everybody else in the market because I'm trying to get these gone. So essentially it just helps to pay, to keep my price down on the first one, right? If I make a small profit, that lowers my cost basis even more. So even if I only make $10 a box and I sell the other 3 boxes, that's $30 off of my $100 price, which puts me at $70 for the nicest condition box out of this lot. For an EX Emerald box, which is less than half of the price I would have paid if I didn't wait. So now all we have left is the EX Dragon box. That's the only booster box that we have left, and maybe there's some first edition variant boxes that we have left too, but other than that, all of the EX series boxes are almost complete. All of the WotC boxes are almost complete. And again, just, dude, how cool is this? How cool is this? All these EX Emerald boxes in one place. Okay, these are like $20,000 sealed boxes. So even though they're empty, it still feels cool to hold these. And I don't think it's ever going to get old. Even when I've completed all the empty booster boxes, I feel like I'm still going to be collecting empty booster boxes. It's just a fun thing that I like to do. I forgot which ones are going to go where. This one, I guess I'll put right here. I love that I have the theme deck display and the booster box. What I would love now is maybe to get an additional Team Rocket Returns. Yeah, I had another box. I should have just kept it to put on the Team Rocket Returns theme deck display. Those look so cool. But yeah, time to put this back away, slide this in here. But yeah, I will from here, now that the display is almost done, from here I will be buying boxes just to sell because I do see the long-term value in this stuff. Mint condition boxes like this one, these are really, really hard to come by, okay guys? And I know this for fact because it's taken me years to come by these. So, shout out to Is Collectibles. They hooked me up on that pickup. So I really, really appreciate that. I appreciate them working with me on that. That was an awesome hookup on their part, and they did not have to give me the deal on all 4 of them, but they did. And lately what I found is I'm getting really good deals by offering to buy out kind of bulk collection buys. You guys might not remember, but my Neo Genesis Hotfoot theme deck, is it even over here? I need to get it out. But anyways, my Neo Genesis Hotfoot theme deck, there's gotta be one up here. Yeah, there's one up here. This Hotfoot theme deck, I bought 9 of these, guys. I bought 9 of these. There was a chance a couple weeks ago where someone had 9 of these, and I bought them at $100 a piece, but I bought all of them. And what ended up happening is I've sold 4 of those now. I've sold 4 of them now for like the 150, 160 range. So that play, again, is another time where I've like kind of taken a risk and been like, oh God, I'll buy multiple of this even though I don't really need it, and we'll see if it sells. And so vintage is something that I'm still very confident will be the better play in the long term, will be a better investment. Honestly, you can make quick flips on vintage in a way that's very difficult with modern products. Okay, modern is the long game, it's a waiting game, and it's gonna take some time. Whereas vintage can have an immediate turnaround because a lot of the value has already been created, right? As long as you can find a deal on it, there's money to be made. And I guess you could say the same for modern, but with everybody being very keen on modern values and prices, I don't think people are going down in price. Whereas something vintage like that, like those theme decks that I bought 9 of, they were from a guy that got them all for free from tournaments. So his cost basis was nothing other than the time he put in as a kid playing at those tournaments. So when he sold at $900, right, he cashed out $900 that I came out of pocket from, almost paying like 60-70% of market value. But at this point, I will be operating like a vendor, buying stuff from people online. If they're willing to do 60-70% on the value, yeah, of course I'm gonna buy it, even if it takes me a while to move that stuff. And I feel like the same play was made with these EX Emerald booster boxes. I feel like, dude, these are going to be hard to come by. If somebody out there wants to finish a display, they're going to really need to look for this stuff. Anyways, some other stuff that has come up, trying to remember, we're seeing some record gold star prices. We're seeing some record sales for the gold stars. We just saw a gold star Celebi sell for, I think it was $900 or very, very close, like the high 800s. Guys, the gold star market is getting nuts, okay? I don't need to pump this market. This market's already pumped and beaten to a pulp, okay? It was like yesterday, gold star Celebi was like a $600 PSA 9 card, and now $900 almost, listings at $1,000. It's crazy. It's wild. And also, first edition Charizard. Okay, you guys know I love this one because I have one myself now. So I love talking about this card. Right now, for those of you that are looking to get in bed with one of these awesome, just an amazing collection piece, but also a great investment piece as well. I picked this guy up for $19,000. Some of the recent sales have been around $25,000. There is one right now. There's a PSA 9 thick stamp first edition Charizard on PWCC right now. No one I know is running the auction. I'm not trying to pump an auction or anything like that. It's just something I noticed. For those of you that are looking for this card potentially, and really want to take the leap of faith that this is going to be one of the biggest growth cards in this hobby over the next couple of years, I would highly recommend checking out that PWCC auction. The card looks phenomenal. It looks clean. It's probably cleaner than mine, but again, I got mine for a really good deal, so I don't feel bad about it. And another thing is I'm starting to be less picky with looking for cards, and more just thinking like if I can find a really good deal for a PSA 10 or a really good deal for a PSA 9, I'm going to grab it, because if anything, if there's a flaw or I decide I want to upgrade, at least if I'm getting a really good deal, I can flip it. And so one of the best ways to do that, guys, is buying cards privately. I've started to buy more and more stuff privately over the last couple months. Not too much stuff, but it has saved me a ton of money. I bought that Charizard privately and it saved me a ton of money. But yeah, and I'm trying to think, if there's anything else. Yeah, that's about all I've got. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I remember, but that's about it, guys. And yeah, this is a 27-minute long video, so we're gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna let you guys go. Let me know what you think about the modern market right now. Was it all pump? Was it all hype? Is it gonna just keep on falling, or is it just people want to be dramatic, and the reality is that we're just seeing a slight retrace and prices will be fine? Box prices seem to be doing okay. The raw prices might be falling a little bit, but that doesn't really indicate how the market is doing overall. I think the PSA 10 prices are a better indicator of where the market's going, and the PSA 10 prices, in my opinion, are holding up pretty well, at least on eBay from what I'm seeing. Anyways, guys, it's been a good one. Peace out. I'll catch you guys on the next one. I really enjoyed making this video.